The girl thought that a monthly allowance of 80,000 yuan was too little, so she tried to use her male best friend to provoke her rich boyfriend, hoping to make him spend more money on her. But the plan completely backfired. The two men ended up in a serious fight, and the boyfriend not only refused to give her any more money but also abandoned her on the spot. The blow was so devastating that the girl, used to a spoiled and comfortable life, couldn't handle it, and ended up taking an extreme action. She sent a message to her best friend saying she didn't want to live anymore. Worried, the friend arrived at Ju Xiaoyon's house with a reporter. As soon as they opened the door, they were hit by a strong smell of gas. At that moment, Ju Xiaoyon was curled up under the blanket, silently crying. The reason the girl was so heartbroken was that the day after she found out she was pregnant, she told her boyfriend the news, but instead of joy or support, what she received was a breakup. As for the reason, she said with a tone of sadness and injustice. Her boyfriend began to suspect that the baby in Ju Xiaoyon's belly might not even be his. But why did he think that? Ju Xiaoyon's boyfriend, Luo Dafu, was a small businessman. Every month, he gave her an allowance of 80,000 yuan. Even so, she thought the money wasn't enough and wanted to find a way to make him spend more. That's when her best friend gave her a brilliant idea. The two of them had a mutual friend, a male co-worker of Ju Xiaoyon at the same hotel. The plan was to use this close friend to trigger Luo Dafu's jealousy and make him feel a sense of crisis, basically, to let him hear how well this friend treated Ju Xiaoyon, in hopes that he would start valuing her more. But the plan completely backfired. Instead of waking him up, Ju Xiaoyon ended up being coldly abandoned. She simply couldn't accept it. Not only had she lost her boyfriend, but she was now carrying Luo Dafu's child. No matter how hard she tried to contact him, he refused to see her, and openly declared that the relationship was over. What's worse, he started saying that the baby might belong to another man. Ju Xiaoyon, who thought she was being clever but ended up hurting herself, couldn't bear such humiliation. The pain and shame was so overwhelming that, for a moment, she completely lost the will to live. Her best friend knew that the ridiculous idea had been hers, and if something really happened to Xiaoyon, she would also share the blame. That's why, in the following days, she never left Ju Xiaoyon's side. In fact, everyone thought the situation wasn't that serious. If the two of them could just meet and clear up the misunderstanding, maybe the couple would get back together. But no one imagined that when they finally met again, things would turn so explosive. The girl thought that a monthly allowance of 80,000 yuan was too little and decided to use her male best friend to manipulate her boyfriend, hoping to make him increase the amount. But the boyfriend had a terrible temper, and they ended up having a huge argument right then and there. The next day, after she told him she was pregnant, he broke up with her without hesitation. At that time, Ju Xiaoyon had a hard time getting her boyfriend, Luo Dafu, to meet her. And to force an encounter, she even staged a scene pretending to jump off a building in front of his friends. Ju Xiaoyon felt deeply wronged for being abandoned. After all, she saw herself as a decent and loyal woman, but Luo Dafu claimed that the baby in her belly belonged to another man. According to her, she wasn't looking for money, she just wanted to clear her name. You don't get to decide everything however you want. I'm not a gift, I'm a person. I have my own thoughts, feelings, and dignity. You can't just throw me away like that. After much drama, she finally managed to make her boyfriend show up. To prove there was nothing going on between her and her male friend, Ju Xiaoyon insisted on inviting both that friend and his wife to be present. Luo Dafu, on the other hand, had started doubting her fidelity after secretly going through her phone. In her call logs and messages, the person she contacted most frequently was that very same friend. She always told him when she worked overtime, when she left work, everything. Ju Xiaoyon explained that they did talk a lot, but only because of work. After all, they were colleagues and had to communicate. Sometimes they even went out to eat, but only as friends. Luo Dafu didn't believe any of it. He kept the messages as proof of infidelity. When the friend's wife saw the messages, she thought the whole thing was ridiculous. Most were about work, and even the casual chats had nothing inappropriate. Using that as proof of cheating seemed absurd. But Luo Dafu wouldn't let it go. He said that a month before the pregnancy, Ju Xiaoyan had claimed she'd be working late and couldn't come home, and the messages showed she was with that friend that night. He implied that the baby might have been conceived that very day. The friend, outraged, lost his patience and started a fight. Ju Xiaoyan, frustrated by the accusations, fired back. "So you really believe this child is his? I've never been with another man. The baby can only be yours, whose else would it be?" She had been abandoned the day after discovering she was pregnant, accused of cheating and treated like a liar. Determined, she said she only wanted one thing: to clear her name. "Anyone in my place would want to prove their innocence." She suggested that since she was already 4 months pregnant, they should do a DNA test together. That way, the truth would come out. Ju Xiaoyan admitted that during their relationship, she had a bit of a princess complex, and that she really did spend a lot of his money. But she insisted she had always been 100% faithful and, even after everything, still hoped to reconcile. Her wish was simple: to be proven innocent. She still loved Luo Dafu and didn't want to give up on the relationship. However, what he said next shocked everyone present. "She's just paying what she owes. Let her sell her life however she wants." Luo Dafu flatly stated that he would never get back together with her. He said Ju Xiaoyan was never a good woman, and that if she wanted to make money, she could keep being a mistress. He used the word keep on purpose. Then came the revelation. When their affair began, Luo Dafu was still married. They had met because he was a frequent guest at the hotel where Ju Xiaoyan worked as a manager. Knowing his marriage was in trouble, she took advantage of the situation, and over time, he ended up divorcing. After that, Ju Xiaoyan stopped being a mistress and officially became his girlfriend. She didn't deny it. She admitted that when they first got involved, he was married. But she felt it was cruel and unfair to label her as a homewrecker. "A relationship takes 2 people. I didn't force him to divorce, and I wasn't the main cause. At most, I was a catalyst." Even so, Luo Dafu never trusted her. Since their relationship had started on the wrong foot, he believed that a woman who had once been a mistress would always be unfaithful, and that therefore, they could never reconcile. After much persuasion from those present, he softened a little. He agreed to do the paternity test the next day. He promised that if the child was his, although he wouldn't take her back, he would pay child support. "I'm a man, and a man should take responsibility for his own," he said. But the next day came, and Ju Xiaoyan waited for over an hour at the testing center. Luo Dafu never showed up. He didn't answer his phone. He disappeared again. Now, alone and pregnant, Ju Xiaoyan would have to face the future as a single mother. In the end, perhaps her fate was simply the inevitable consequence of her own choices. As the saying goes, those who sow the wind reap the storm. And you, what do you think about this story?
And in the end, none of this was really a surprise, was it? Because let's be honest, who actually believes that a relationship born from betrayal can end in loyalty? It's almost poetic, just in the most tragic way possible. Zhou Xiaoyan stepped into the life of a married man, believing that love born out of infidelity could somehow turn into something pure. And he, Luo Dafu, believed he could replace a wife with a mistress and still be respected. In the end, they were both wrong, just in different ways. He never trusted her, and she never understood that once you've betrayed, you carry the weight of doubt forever. He thought he could own a woman who once helped him cheat, as if her loyalty came guaranteed. And she believed that once she became the official one, she would finally be valued. But what's planted in lies always grows into mistrust. And here's the irony: the man who doesn't trust her is the same man who cheated first. The guy judging her character is the one who destroyed his own marriage. It's the classic case of 2 villains trying to play the victim at the same time. In the end, he disappears, maybe out of cowardice, maybe out of convenience. And she's left alone, pregnant, crying, and wondering where it all went wrong, as if the answer wasn't written from the start. Sad? Yes, but also a harsh lesson. When your starting point is wrong, destiny rarely ends up fair. And don't even start with "but maybe the baby is his," because honestly, it doesn't matter. He already decided he doesn't want to know, and she's paying the price for a game that began with manipulation and ended with distrust. Compared to yesterday's story, you could say this guy was, at least, smart. He didn't forgive, didn't pretend to believe, and vanished before getting fooled again. But being smart isn't a virtue, it's just a more elegant way of being a jerk. Because a man who cheats on his wife and then calls his ex-mistress a traitor is only reaping what he sowed. And Zhou Xiaoyan, she's living her karma. The karma of believing she could build happiness on another woman's pain. Now she's feeling what it's like to be left, doubted, and judged. Maybe that's the most just part of the whole story, the universe simply giving back what was given. In the end, nobody won. He'll probably fall into another mess with another woman, repeating the same cycle. And she, even if she moves on, will forever remember that love born from betrayal can't be fixed with tears. It's ironic, but life has a way of proving that neither of them deserved a happy ending, because love without character, no matter how passionate, always ends in tragedy. So, what do you think? Can a relationship that starts like this ever be forgiven? Or is betrayal the kind of sin that never fades away? Share your thoughts in the comments, I'd love to know what you think. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel for more stories and reflections like this one. See you in the next video.